Hello everyone, welcome to this video. Today I'll be reviewing my 1Q students game that we played together, or against each other I should say. I am white, my student is black. Pretty interesting opening actually. He plays a 3-3, which by itself isn't that strange, but the strange move is this one. It kind of fell out of style once the AIs kind of said, oh, it's too inefficient. But now it's kind of making a resurgence. I don't know if it's because the new Zero AIs like this move, or if pros are just playing it now just for a difference. But yeah, this by itself is a pretty strange opening. Because all of white stones are on one side. This kick is white trying to get Sente. I would expect a move like this, but I guess because white played high here, black didn't want white to later be able to attack these, probably by going here. I talked about this in my last interesting game video, if you want to check that out. Because after this move, black still has an invasion here, or here, something here to worry about. An invasion here somewhere, whether it's an approach there or an approach here. But also the corner is open. So there are actually 3 spots still. One at M2, one somewhere around G3, and one at the 3-3 spot. So there are 3 spots that are still invadable for black. Which means if black protects one of them, it still leaves 2 options. But by playing a move like this, it kind of treats this as just one big area. So there's only one space white can invade. And then the corner is a little less inviting for white because black has played a Shamari. So that's kind of the point of this move. This move is just inefficient. It leaves behind too many, not weaknesses, but maybe problems for later for black. So that's kind of the idea. But again, it's a fine move. I play here. AIs really don't like this move so much. They would much rather prefer this kind of move. White should for sure play low, because playing high would mean all of white stones on the right side are high, which means it would be very easy for black to just jump in and live. Even just coming in right there, right? Come this way, can dive in that way, block this way, dive in that way. So definitely low here. With this move, the reason why it's considered kind of slack is because white can get over concentrated pretty quickly if black shoulder hits. You can see if white answers, and even if black jumps, you can see white's still surrounding, right? We call this 12 points of territory. When white pushes, white's still surrounding 12 points of territory. And if white were to ignore again, there's still a weakness at this attachment. And let's just say white answers very softly here. White still only has 12 points of territory. But white has used 4 stones and has gained no points. Right? That's not good, right? He used 2 stones to make 12 points, and then he used 4 stones to make 12 points. So that's where the whole inefficiency comes from, is this shoulder hit, as well as sometimes just directly attaching on this side. We can see if white extends up, black can Hane like this and then leave it, and you can see white's really over concentrated. So that's why it's not seen as much anymore, but it's actually making a resurgence in pro games. Maybe because while it does get over concentrated, it's definitely more solid. Like the corner is definitely white's, and maybe there's an emphasis on corners. Maybe that's why it's making a resurgence. But regardless, I played this against my student so that he is still accustomed to it, because people are still going to be playing all sorts of different Shamaris, so even if they're out of style or not. I play here. I didn't really know where else to play. This is the last unfinished corner. I could have approached here. But kind of give black. Black could probably ignore, because Probably shouldn't be worried about a double approach because he's so solid at the bottom, or at least has reinforcements there. So I kind of just wanted to fix here. Plus, the upper left is very uninteresting for both players. And as I said before, there's a bunch of spots I can look for on the bottom. And black plays a very good move. This is a good checking, good Shimari / checking extension. Prevents a white approach from this side. This is a very good move. Very good move. And I play from my Shimari. Again, didn't want to approach directly. I could have done something like this, but if I extend, black will actually just jump, and if I drop down, he'll drop down as well. He'll scoop out the territory, and you can see my 3 stones here actually facing the wrong direction. If I jumped, jump might be okay. What would black do? Black, even if black wedged and then fixed and then extended, again, you can see I kind of want to build the top, not the left side, especially after black played c6. So didn't really like anything there. I could have played an approach move like this. Maybe black backs off, and then I could back off somehow. This could also be playable, but I just played here. My next move is very clear as well. But black has Sente. Black shouldn't answer, that's for sure. And black splits the right side. I think this is actually pretty decent spacing. It's between this move or playing a more direct move here or here. You can see this move, this approach at R8, and this move here, the shoulder hit at Q15, is a more direct threat against the upper right or lower right respectively. And that's kind of what, when you play a move like this, you kind of give white the choice of where you play, right? Because white could either play from this side or this side. And in this case, obviously white would play from this side because it's wider. So again, when you play here, you're saying, okay, white, I want to put pressure on the lower right. Or if you play here, I want to put pressure on the upper right. But when you play here, it's kind of like, okay, white, you can choose for me. You can choose which group I put pressure on or where I invade, right? So I'm not so sure about this. I don't know why black didn't just play here. If white pincers, even if black jumps, we can see the spacing here is very... it's not good. It's not good. I'll just say that. Let's say even if white just plays very simply, later whether black shoulder hits or invades, you see the spacing isn't good. Yeah, so I don't know. I think this move has to be better. Or, of course, this move as well. But I don't think this move is terrible. I just don't like how it gives white the choice of where to play from. Especially when the choice is very obvious. You know, white will definitely play from this side, because this side is too narrow. So white should definitely play a move on this side. But I actually played... I didn't play this move. I played a different move. I played this move, which might look strange. Admittedly, because it probably is. But my reasoning is, one, I've seen fine art play these kind of pincers a stone higher. Like if the opponent invades at the 3rd line, fine art would pincer on the 4th line. And of course, while I don't understand all of it, what I gather from it is, sure, black can dive, but as long as when black pushes and you cover, this cut doesn't work, fine art will play this high one. And of course, there are pros and cons to both moves. So if white plays low, black will be able to push white down. Right? And while this does solidify the corner, so it's not terrible, it would be very hard to put pressure on these stones, even if black just, I don't know, extends back or shoulder hits or just jumps out, does something. It's going to be very hard to catch these stones. When you play here, though, obviously black will be able to make an easier base this way as well. But it makes it so if black jumps, let's say black jumps, maybe white kicks, white's going to be able to play more forcefully on top. Whereas if black just jumps here, you can see white is going to be behind in this running battle, right? There's no way white can get ahead of black. When you play high, white will be able to put more pressure if there's a running battle. And both moves still have weaknesses in the corner somewhere. Like black can play whether this attachment or this move. Both moves still leave the corner open. And with this move, in this case, black's move is to play here. But this move is still open as well. So that's kind of the difference. If you're watching this and you've never even considered this move, I would just say just try it in your games. See if you like it or not. Because that's how you'll get better, is just by experimenting. Yeah. As long as you just think about new ideas, that's how you're gonna that's how you're gonna continue to improve at Go. So I saw this in a fine art game, and I've been reviewing fine art games. I was actually in I believe the fine art game, because I actually reviewed this game for my channel. It's got to be a couple months ago. Fine Art versus Chen Manchi. Fine Art played this kind of pincer, so you can kind of see where I got my inspiration from if you go back to that video. But that's why I played this on the 4th line. And then black comes back and plays here. So I don't understand why black played this move and then left it. Especially to play this move, which I don't think is that big. Like black's fighting over a few points of territory here. Yeah. Maybe black didn't like anything here. Black didn't want to make a base maybe because it would solidify the corner. And maybe black didn't want to attach and play this sort of thing. Because it solidifies white's corner. So maybe black didn't like any of those. But again, I would just jump out then. If you don't want to touch the corners, just jump out. Is black worried about white getting this move? Like, that's what he's fighting over, basically. Yeah. Not sure. I play at the 4-4 spot. And then black crawls. And then I jump. And here, black played way too passively. Black just connected. But if we change the order of moves, it's as if I attached, black extended, and then I peeped, and then black connected. So you can see how slack black's play is here. Black should think to be a little aggressive. At this point right here, black is completely alive in the corner. So black should think to play moves maybe like Hane, Atari, and then maybe crawl this way. Maybe something like this. Like, black should think to fight here. Black could also play it this way, or cut this way. Either way, black needs to fight. Playing this is just way too passive. Way too passive. Because I just crawl back, and it's like, now this move here is even less, is worth even less. So, yeah, too slack. Sometimes just connecting here is a good move, but not in this case. And then black plays this move, which again is a normal looking move if black hadn't made this exchange here. Because I just play here, so it's like black is forcing me to cut his stones here. So again, I'm starting to get confused as to why black played this in the first place. Maybe it is to create Aji, but you can see black attaches and then played here. Like, I'd rather, not that white would play the same way, but like, I'd rather black had just done this. Maybe white would play it a little differently, but you get the idea, and just done that to begin with. I'd rather black had done that instead of playing this move first. But yeah, Because like now black isn't weak on the top, but black isn't alive yet, and this stone is definitely isolated. And white has two very solid corners that can't be under attack. White has this floating group in the upper left, but it has a lot of aji, or at least ways to create eyes or run out. So at this point, I split. Black kicks. And again, I'm thinking black's going to do something like this, because this helps prevent any weakness here. And it puts pressure on these stones. But black plays here once. I think it's interesting timing, but there's no way white will ignore. I play from this side. And then black plays here. Which, you'll see this game kind of turns into a game of chicken. But I don't think black needs to do that. Because this move feels like you're attacking white, but again, there's so many ways white can live or make eyes or run out with these stones here. So I don't know why black doesn't want to put pressure on these stones here and make profit while attacking, right? Black's also helping his bottom group. So, but I think black was thinking white, oh, no way white's going to ignore, but a sign of a good player is always ignoring, or at least always considering to ignore. Also, it is weird to just leave this, because again, without this exchange, maybe later black wants to play from this side. Use this stone at R11, but once black does this, the stone is even weaker. And it's important to note that if black wants to live, black can live in the corner, but white gets P2, which means there's a weakness here now. So that's why I was okay with not playing this move, right? Not playing from this side. But black pincered. I jumped. Black jumped. Again, this move feels so slow. Why doesn't black play a little faster, like this sort of move, or like, I don't know, keep attacking white? Like, I don't understand. Feels so slow. They're so sluggish. Because white can still run out. So if white runs out, then these stones are just going to be dame. They're not going to make a lot of points because white already has this stone here. Whereas if black just plays a move like this, notice he is making points this way. Like, black should think that these stones aren't going to make any points anyways. So he should just make points where he can make points for sure. He jumps. And of course, since he ignored this move, I get this shoulder hit. This move is imperative. If you jump here and they ignore, you have to get this move. And then black dives, which it's an option. It's an option for sure. And then I invade because I have not thickness, but I have a pretty solid foundation on the left side here. Black covers and then a descend. This is the move you want to look for. If black prevents a connection on the left side, you can connect in the corner. If black prevents on this side, which is what he did in the game, you can connect this way. Which is why you can see why I really wanted black to play this sort of move and attack here. Because one, it's very uncomfortable for white, but let's just say white lives or does whatever in black. Notice now, if white tries to descend here, oops, sorry about that. You can see now there's no connection here. White might be able to find a way to fight here still, but there's no clean connection. So yeah, you can really see how this move is away from the action. Now you can see when I extend here, I get a base, which means these stones are now completely alive. So now how I see it is this black group is floating. This black stone and this black stone are also floating. And this upper group. And then these white stones are white's only weak stones. So you can see, like, basically the right side of the board for black are all stones that are floating, and their life and their amount of points they're making are all nebulous. So that's half of black stones. So This is why it's good to jump around. It's good to get around the board, but you still need to be making big areas and not always ignoring your opponent. Sometimes you have to answer your opponent. Black plays his 3-3. That's what he played this move, so he can play the 3-3. I cover. He attaches, and then he connects. So he has to go here. Like, why not make cutting points? If white does this, this exchange is good for you. Because white still needs to answer. Maybe white answers there. But now, after you Atari, black's already alive in the corner. So black could just jump out somehow. And again, black scooped out the corner and is able to live here. This white wall would be not doing a whole lot. So if white Ataris, white will end in Gote. But if white connects, say white connects there, black would be able to play this move. You can see if white Atari's there, black will just cut and give up those stones there. If white connects, black's able to wedge here. And yeah, I don't know what white does. If white does this, black would be able to connect through. And there's still some Aji in the corner. But basically, black should play here. That means white should just extend back. So I played this too quickly. But black must have played this too quickly. I still do need a fix, but now black doesn't live in Sente. Because this move isn't Sente anymore. And so now black made this group in the corner. That's not alive. And I'm attacking this group. But then black just says, I'll spend another move to surround white's 4 stones here. So at this point, I'm like, okay, you're using 3 stones. And you still need 1 more. So 4 stones to capture my 4 stones. So black really needed to think about the efficiency of these stones here. Whereas when white plays this move to surround these stones on a large scale, you can see how all of white's stones are working together. So yeah, this might feel good for black. Like, it's a whole corner. Like, it's a pretty big corner, but black needed to play these moves much faster. Like, maybe play this kind of move. You know, something. But just one space jumping and knight's moves are just too slow. Because if I wanted to, I could have still ran out pretty easily. And then these stones would be pretty useless. So plays here in the corner, this is good timing. But again, black needs to add a move. Just block there. It's a pretty healthy corner, but black just takes there. And this is Gote to kill. So I just jumped into the center. Not sure if this move is that good, but you can see how it is. One, reinforcing my kill here on the bottom, but also reducing black's area. Like, if I killed now, black could even just attach directly or place this kind of move. It'd be kind of tricky to answer, so that's why I wanted a stone in the center first. But then black plays here, which I feel it's like the same idea as this move, but again, you can see how slow it is. It's just like black was playing these moves here. It's too slow to play this kind of move, right? It would be like if I jumped here. Way too slow. Black needs to be thinking faster. Yeah, this move is like, it's not gaining black that many points. It is threatening to connect this back, but this stone in and of itself is not worth that much. So black needs to play a move like this. You know, a move like, I don't know, something, maybe Tengen, you know, just do something more proactive. It doesn't prompt a white response. It's Gote. It doesn't give black that many points. Like, those are the things you don't want to play with your moves. So then I kill the corner. Black can make this exchange, but it doesn't help black because I can just turn. Black might try to play here, and if white goes here, this would be bad because now this forces black to connect here. But instead of this move, white can hane here. And now black cannot cut white off. So black only has one eye. And then black got his move. Black got connected this stone here, but again, it's definitely not as big as this corner. Shoulder hit. And I was expecting black to push and cut, especially since black has so many stones here, right? Black has such a strong position here. There should be no reason why he's afraid of fighting. And what I was reading in the game is if I was going to play like an attachment like this. But even if black just comes back, sure, I can hane here, but I'm still under attack. And which means black will be able to reduce my center while attacking, which is what you want. But in the game, black just goes here. So I don't understand this logic for black. Why does black play all these moves here? This wave here of stones that are super solid because white's dead. And there's a obvious push and cut here, but he just takes points. I don't get it. I don't understand it. So I don't know if black counted and thought that was enough. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if black was counting and was like, this move's just enough, but it doesn't feel good. Doesn't feel good. So now I play here. And black bumps. Peep. And then I bump back, threatening to connect under. He extends up, and then I play this funny looking move. But it's threatening to connect here. Like if black blocks, I can connect. If black prevents it, later I can play this jump here and connect my stones. So basically, you can see how this stick here is now getting cut off. So it's kind of funny. Here, black should definitely fight this because he has this string of stones here, which are strong because white is not alive here. But he played passively. But then when I played here, he should play not passively, but just let white connect on the second line. He'll get Sente to go wherever he wants. Because black does have stones here, but white is alive on the inside, which means these stones are weaker. Whereas here, the white stones are not alive, which means these black stones are stronger. So, and you can see, just by doing this, white doesn't gain that many points. By going here, white bumps, or peep and then bumps. Black extends up. I played this move, and then black did cover. I hane'd, and then jumped. So you can see all of a sudden black isn't alive here now. So, he was so careful on the left side, but then he just threw caution to the wind on this side. So it seems like black's game plan, or what he's trying to do in this game, is kind of confused. But he realizes he needs to come out, so he does. I just connect. And then he covers. I probably could have been a little more aggressive by going here. Yeah. I think there's one small issue is if black goes here. Because now I'm cut off on the top, so I need to connect somehow. Which, this move, by the way, helps me connect, but also threatens to cut here, which is another problem for black. But in the corner, black can do this cut across and then this. But even if I just give up this one stone here, what's the best way to do this actually? Is it to come down or is it to connect? I don't know actually. Let's just, for the sake of simplicity, I go here. And we'll just assume I'm alive. Yeah, maybe I might end in Gote. Because if I ignore, pretty sure black can't do this move because white can clamp. But I think black can play this move. Yes, okay. Huh. So then the question is, can white go here? And the answer is no, because black will connect. So if black comes down, then when white cuts, or you can see now white has much better shape here. But black can just connect back and then push and cut. And if white Atari's this way, you notice white's unable to play R19 because it's self-Atari. So white would need to play this way and then go here, but then black can Atari here. And notice by doing this, this would be Gote as well. So maybe there is merit in me just connecting. Yeah, maybe it is just, maybe I did do the smart thing of just connecting. Black attaches, I peep, and then I play here again, threatening to cut here, but also threatening to Hane around. Black fixed by going here. This doesn't feel good, does it? I don't know why black doesn't want to do this. Black shape is much better this way. What? Even just go here. White's unable to cover now because black can cut. So, yeah, going here. Again, so inefficient, these stones. And I get to play my move. Cover. Extend. And because I'm connected, I'm not worried about killing this. I'm just trying to make some profit in the center here because I'm connected already. Extends. I connect. He clamps. I fix my cut here. There's a cut here. Connects. There's another cut here. It might look like there's no cut. Like if I play out this way. If I go this way, it looks like black can't cut this way, and if he goes this way, can't cut this way. But there is actually a move to cut white, and it's this move. You see if I go here, black's able to connect, and then I can't connect. And if I push, he can cut, and you can see I cannot capture this cutting stone at L14. So that's why I needed to answer. Black peeps, black clamps, and then plays there. I think those are good exchanges. But it allows me to then come back and capture these two stones. And again, black plays so passively here. Like, why doesn't black just go here? What is black worried about here? White cuts, just extend, 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 extend again. Even, like, there's nothing. Even connect if black wants to. That's how strong black is here. So again, I don't know what black was reading, but this is just a slack move. Attach, jump, and I play here. Again, I can threaten to cut again, whereas if black went here, there's no cut at all. So that's how you can see this move is very slack. But then black plays here, which I get it, it's good shape, but I can just push again, and you've lost 2 points, whereas you could just protect and keep those 2 points. So there's a time to play good shape, and there's a time not to play good shape, and that's one of the times. Is that you can see that this move doesn't help black at all. Like all it does is give white a co-threat later that black can't ignore. Whereas if black just goes here, he's all connected through. So he lost 2 points by playing good shape here. Play at the shape point here, and then he jumps. So, like, it feels like black didn't read this, whereas being a lazy reader here, because he just gives these up. But so black shouldn't jump there. Black should just not play in this center at all. Jumps, cap, plays here. There is some merit, I guess, but it feels like black just gave those up too quickly. Jumps in, plays here, and again he's trying to stick with good shape, but there's nothing wrong with just connecting your stones back. So again, there's a time to play good shape and there's a time not to play good shape, and it seems like black is confused as to when to play good shape and when not to play good shape. Extend down, he extends down, and then I cover in the center, jumps, block, and then clamp, preventing him from taking away much more of my points. Peep, and then I play clamp here. You can see this move does prevent a cut because I have perfect shape here. But he pushes. I push once and then push down. He connects, and then I hane, and then double hane. And it looks like there's a weakness here, but after this, you can see this move is an Atari. If black takes there, I can take here. Notice, however, I won't go all the way back, or I won't play every move in this sequence, but if black had played this move, notice, still do that move, but notice, again, just trying to make it so that I get a similar position. Notice I can't hane here now because then this move is just works. But because black tried to play light shape by jumping here, it actually helped me. So again, know when to play good light shape as opposed to just playing the best move, I guess. Because by playing there, he let me surround more. He did this in the game. I Atari'd. He comes back. That's a big move. Connects. And then connects back. I cover. Plays here. Plays here, but then doesn't do this move. I don't know why. I don't know why. It's a big move. Where does black go? Oh, black goes here. And so then I make a huge blunder. Well, not a huge blunder, but a pretty bad blunder. So I need to go here. Because notice, if black covers, I can cut, and then Atari. If black connects, though, I can connect. And if black tries to throw in once, I can just cut. Or I can just take, I mean. And again, if black goes here, I can cut. He can take, but then I can just Atari here. This move would actually be a mistake. It would be a ko if I connected there. So yeah, but in the game, I go here. Which this is a very bad move by me, because now black can play S1. So what is the point of S1? I can just cut. Well, it actually sets up a ko here. Which means when I go here, black can start the ko now or just leave it and just play it later, because I'll have to come back and answer anyways, which means I spend 2 moves to kill that corner now. So it's just a very bad move, this one. It's also important to note that now if I cut, he can just Atari. And if I descend, he can go here, and even though I can cut, it's a snapback. So very bad move. Very bad move. Cover. He covers. I extend up. Again, I don't want to spend a second move there. Cut. Extend up. Cuts. So now he does this, but at this point he realizes that he can't actually cut me. But he does take, and I take there. Covers, and then hane. And then I clamp. And you'll see what the point of this clamp is. He goes there, which this is the mistake. Because even though he can cover now, I can Atari, and then Atari here, and then cut. So now I've cut off this side, which is very big. So yeah, this is when the game definitely turned in white's favor. White was definitely winning before this, but at this point, it's definitely white's clearly ahead at this point. This is why earlier I wanted black to just follow up here. I forget what he did. Yeah, just go here. Why not? It gets you points here. It helps your shape, and it connects all your stones. There can't be anything bad with that. Yeah, going here, it's a big move. Big, big, big. and I go here, like black can just connect here, right? And now he's all connected. But he does this. So I don't know if it's just lack of reading, but this is a big blunder here. So now black does some anger pushes. No point in making those now, but it is endgame, so it's not terrible, I guess. Pushes and then plays here, which looks like a fancy move, but it allows me to actually play a S1. And now if he cuts, I can Atari. But if he connects, I can connect. So now he actually fixed my own weakness for me, because I had to play there anyways to prevent a ko, but then he played in a way that helped me fix that weakness. So yeah, this looks like the fancy move, but sometimes you don't need the fancy move. Sometimes you just need the simple move, which is this move. He comes down, and then I play here. This looks like a strange move, but actually if black takes here, I can Atari and then play an Atari here, and then Hane. So I can actually capture these two stones if black plays in this way. Notice black's unable to cut here. And yeah, there's just black could do this, but I capture those two stones, so the trade-off. So that's the point of this move, is if black goes here, I'm able to cut here, is the idea. But black sees it, I guess, which is good reading. Fixes. Take here. And then he pushes once. He extends. And then I take. Then he pushes. And then I Atari. And at this point he resigns. So clearly the last 4 moves or so are resign moves. But yeah, can't connect because I can cut. Cut off the center. He connects. I can capture. So yeah, played a resign sequence here and resign. But black was definitely upset after the game was finished, which is understandable, but all good Go players need to know how to control their emotions. So yeah, black needed to just, because I think black played very well overall, especially for the rank differential with an even game. Black was definitely in it for a while, but he as a player just he lets the result and the end board dictate or define how a game went, which is not how you should think. You need to think about the big picture, as well as the big picture being I'm his teacher and we're playing teaching games. The point is to learn in teaching games. So always, especially if it's a teaching game, always play to learn and don't get upset at the results of games. And I think it's more frustration for him on himself, not against me, and I understand that, but still got to be able to control your emotions. But yeah, that's it for this game. Again, overall, I think it's a pretty interesting game. I think black's overall game plan was a little skewed. It's kind of leaving weak stones around, and was playing pretty slowly in the upper left and upper right areas. But besides that, I think black overall, his moves make sense, and I definitely see an improvement in his Go, which is good. But yeah, that's it for this video. If you have any questions about the game, please let me know in the comments. I read all the comments, or at least I try to, whichever ones YouTube notifies me about at least. But yeah, thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.